Hey everyone, Caront here, welcoming you back to Wild Arms. In the last episode, we had, Rudy's only line of the game, and introduced ourselves to Miss Cecilia, who is the party's resident magic user. We finished up by going down into the sealed library, where Cecilia is going to meet, assumedly, a guardian. So, here we are. We come to the first area here. In essence, use the teardrop, and voila, the door opens. Now, there's not really going to be a whole lot in terms of difficult puzzles here. Basically, all you're doing is trying to find switches and hit stuff, and you can't carry a box through the door. Sorry. But basically, it's just going to be a bunch of little puzzles to kind of clog things up a tad. Alrighty, our first battle is Cecilia, and we face a blue book. Oh God, I have a feeling my students might not like this too much. I'm a history teacher, by the way. So, anyway, I guess this would be seen as a little bit of taking it out on me to be fighting the very things that I give my students. Anyway, we have this blue book here, and as you might imagine, a blue book doesn't really take too well to having fire cast at it, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, unfortunately, Cecilia has the defense of, a big squishy earthworm, so you might want to be careful physically wise in these battles. But with magic on her side, she can pretty well mop through a lot, especially in this early going. Okay, one thing that I will also show off has to do with Cecilia's force ability, and I will actually show that off in the next battle since we didn't really have time to do it here. Now, you could pretty well probably figure out the answer to this puzzle too, but just take a box, chunk her, and you're through. Couple things I will point out as I rearrange the inventory here. I do have all 4 types of apples now, so you see the Mystic Apple increases sorcery, basically the magic stat. And you also have, for the first time, the Magic Carrot, which recovers 50 magic points. You will use these a very good bit, so if you get them, hang on to them. If you end up finding out where to find them, get them, because you're definitely going to need these things. Especially since there are no shelters or tents or what have you to heal you at save points, you're going to lean on these things. Alright, so carry on down here. Just gallivant through. And we'll just get a bunch of boxes out of the way, I guess. Keep one box here though, because you hit the switch and it pops up the little, I'm not sure what you call it, crystal, I guess. Hit that and you're good to go. Alrighty. Okay, not too much to explain there. The 3 books act as a door. They are called the Books of Doors. Gee, how creative. The key is the flame. Open the door and light the path. Okay, so you remember that area that I was talking about that had a ton of books? Well, given that this is a sealed library, you could imagine this is it. And there's a lot of books that you can read here if you want to. I'm not going to read any of them on camera. I'll probably leave them for an end slate, but at least if you want to, you can roll around and see a lot of the game's background and what have you as you go through here. Now, what we aim to do is find these 3 books that we need to toss around. Okay, and I will show off the force ability. Okay, I've got 2 blue books, good. I can show off the force ability in this battle here. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and attack as normal because I don't want to kill these blue books too fast. I mean, it'll take away the opportunity for me to show stuff off to you. But if he hits me with 2 freezes, I might need to go ahead and heal. Actually, in fact, I will go ahead and do that. There we go. And fortunately, Cecilia is a little bit faster than her enemies, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal in regards to trying to, unless they cast that at me, trying to take advantage of everything your enemies have going. Alright, I'll go ahead and kill this one, and then I will go ahead and invoke the force ability for Cecilia. Now, Cecilia, just like the other characters, has a force ability to start with, and her force is Mystic. Now, what Mystic does is you see it says evoke a hidden power. Now, basically what that means is you can go through, you can hit a heal berry, for instance, and it will actually heal not just Cecilia, but the entire party. Same thing for the magic carrots or any of the status healing items here. Now, that actually has an additional use because you see down here you can actually use this mystic ability to not just spread the healing love around, but you can actually use it in Cecilia's equipment as well. So if you hit this, for instance, it's going to do something for Cecilia, or if you hit this, it's going to do something to the enemy. So let's see what Magical Rod will do. Okay, so we get to see Blast, which is a spell we're eventually going to get, but we don't have yet. Now, this does require you to have one force point so that you can actually use it. So its usage is semi-limited. I mean, it can be helpful, but sometimes it can be not very helpful at all. But if you do find yourself with some force points, then you can definitely take advantage of that. And this, in a way, can actually help turn the tide of battle if you're having some issues. All right, let's see. I picked up a couple of things. Go ahead and equip that magic rod, actually. And we ended up getting a helmet for Cecilia, which she needs badly, especially since she apparently has bad luck. And then we have a white robe, which will also help. So, all right. Actually, now that I think about it, I did buy that stuff, so shame on me for not putting it on there earlier. We have the first of these books, and we're going to end up having 3 of them that we can use, or that we're going to be taking to our destination. Now, we have new enemies here, the Gadgeons, and I'm going to try to blast these guys with fire too, just to try to take them out a little more quickly. Okay, so I just got hit with disease. That's going to prevent me from being able to heal anything if I end up getting in trouble. Fortunately, though, it doesn't look like these guys hit too hard, so I don't see it being that big of an issue. The game, in essence, basically wants you to use flame a lot in this dungeon, or fire, because, well, I mean, both of the enemies that we've used it on so far are weak to it, so just keep on toasting the enemies here, and you should be in pretty good shape. Alrighty, so now I think that is both of the types of enemies we're going to see in here, so I should be skipping the rest of the battles. Let's see, it gave me a medicine, hint hint. Alright, now what you have to do is walk these books over, and then you see you're going to have a flame upstairs. So in essence, you're going to have to go Fahrenheit 451 on all these things. Toss them into the flame and burn them up. Given that I love to read, it makes me cringe a little bit, but hey, it's all in the name of progressing the game, so it's not going to be a big deal. Okay, just a couple of Gadgeons in a blue book were in that one, and Cecilia got a much needed level up. Whew, boy, we needed that one. Okay, so just basically what you're supposed to do, as I mentioned, is you're going to have to grab all 3 of the books and toss them into the flames here. Now, of course, while you're doing that, and here's the 3rd one hidden down here, by the way, while you're doing that, you can look around for items, which I grabbed the only 2 really we're going to need to concern ourselves with. And you can also look at those books if you want to. Again, I'll probably do those in an end slate just so you can see them without me having to deal with them on camera. Okay, 2 more Gadgeons in a blue book, and then another sock me with disease, which is kind of irritating. Alright, so make your way down here, and we see one thing I will point out though. I'm not going to read any of the other books in Slate, but I do want to point out this one called De La Metallica, and try to read it. No reading for you. We'll come back to that later. Anyway, we see the book here, but before you go into the book, I recommend strongly, especially if you've been doing like I have, and leaning a lot on magic in here, heal up before you talk to the book. One other thing I will mention is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go ahead and post what you can get with Mystic for each of the items that I have. That includes the ones I have in my inventory and the ones that I have equipped as well, so that you can get a sense of what you can do with these items prior to actually using them yourself. Some of them are fairly useful, some of them not so much. There are 2 or 3 that you can get though that actually have attacks that, as far as I can tell, are unique to the game. You cannot use them any other way except for using Mystic. So anyway, let's go talk to the book, and we have, well, whatever is in it. And that doesn't look like what we saw earlier. Ooh, boy, you look ugly. Ugh. A human who wants to touch the forbidden book. I shall grant your wish and make you a part of my story. Wait, like Titus? Wait, never mind. You're not the shadow that calls me, are you? Nope. This guy is... well, still the book monster right now. Daughter of the Way of Magic. Become my flesh and blood inside the forbidden book. Yuck. No thank you. This is Nelgal. And what you'll want to do when you're fighting him, I went ahead and got Protect as my third spell, so I'm going to cast that now, because who couldn't use a little more defense? Now this guy is pretty attack heavy, so if you actually use Protect, and I'm going to be cheap and use it a second time, because Protect in fact does stack. All of your buffs, as far as I'm aware, do stack in the game, up to a certain point of course, but if you use Protect a couple of times, you're pretty much gravy. So take care of that, and now he's going to use a brutal attack, which is going to hit me pretty hard, except I've got Protect and it doesn't hurt me. Ha 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 ha. And just sit there and pretty much slug the guy. I mean, in essence, this is of course your first boss fight as Cecilia, so you'll need to of course be careful in regards to letting him sneak up on you, or, well, I'm trying not to be too cocky, although I think I've pretty well got this battle won because he can't really hurt her too well, or too much. Okay, so I'm going to actually Mystic Mage Staff just to show off what it can do. So, ta-da! The power of Mage Staff is released, and we get Protect again. Go me. Not that that's really any use now. Alright, and let's actually see what Breeze Cape can do. What I've found generally is the rods, basically, except for a couple of exceptions, or with a couple of exceptions rather, seem to have offensive effects. The armor seems to have defensive effects, and you noticed the Breeze Cape actually gave me the ability to increase my parry rate, or my avoidance rate. So that is generally what you're going to see with the Mystic items if you do choose to use them. I don't generally use them a whole lot in regards to a playthrough, but ultimately, of course, it's up to you as far as how much you do or don't use them. Now I've got Cecilia at Condition Green, and I'm going to keep her there because that Condition Green does increase her attack and defense, and I don't really have a whole lot that I need to use it on right now, so I'll just go ahead and keep plugging away as it is. I don't see it being too much longer before this guy falls prey to my wily magical abilities. I don't think he's got too much HP to him for a first boss, although he does keep trying that brutal attack, and he keeps hitting, but he keeps failing. Ha 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 ha. Oh boy, seems to be a one-trick pony with that brutal attack. But we've pretty much got this sewn up and in the bag. Obviously, future bosses are going to be more difficult, including a few of them that I can think of right off the top of my head. But this guy is dust. So, see you later, Nelgal. Nice knowing you for all of about 3 minutes or so. And we are victorious. And we get another level up, which is nice. Because in my previous experience with Cecilia, I had a hard time keeping her leveled up in accordance with Rudy and Jack because they're a little more physically powerful. Hey, yeah, you're the one we saw. The shadow figure from my dream. I am Stoldark, the guardian of the water. For ages, the demon Nelgal has locked me in this terrible book. I have waited a long time for the innocent one who would receive the guardian spirit. The innocent one? Me? The world is at the turning point of darkness again. Innocent one, can you hear the anger of the land and the wind? The screams of the sea and the sky? Wear me as your armor, innocent one. I shall protect you in your fight for life. The battle for Filgaia begins again. Everything begins with Lolithia. So it seems like all signs are pointing toward Lolithia. I mean, we had Jack talking about it. Now we've got Cecilia talking about it. And we have the water rune. Lolithia, what does that mean? And we magically get teleported back to the Abbey. Hooray! Where it looks like Sister Mary is waiting for us. Welcome back, Cecilia. Now you realize the responsibilities of the women in the Adelheid family. The female descendants of the Adelheid family share their thoughts with the Guardians. They must carry the burden of their destiny with them for the rest of their lives. No pressure or anything. No one can understand the pain and pressure which you must endure. Whoops, okay, I didn't know that was coming, but there you go. But they can help you cope with it and make your life easier. Cecilia, there are those who can relate with the burden one's destiny brings, is what I think it said. It scrolled by too fast. Walk proudly from the Abbey. You must travel your own path from now on. All right, well, guess we'll do that. So, in essence, we have our first boss fight and our first rune, which you can go down here and equip. It ups her sorcery and magic resistance a wee little bit, but not that she really needs it too much. Still, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and equip it, and we will gallivant our way out of Caront Abbey. Okay, alright, to the north. The Guardians from the legend have spoken only to her. Without a sound, the wheels of destiny have started to turn. The path she followed in the past was guided by her surroundings. She knew someday she would have to pave her own path to the future. The innocent one who the Guardians speak of. It may be too heavy of a burden to be the sorceress of the ultimate power at such a young age. Ironically, speaking of age, Cecilia is actually the middle of these three. Rudy is 15, Cecilia is 17, and I don't remember how old Jack is. I'll have to look that up. Alright, so let's go ahead and escort our young princess to Adelheid. Of course, we'll run into the same baddies we have before, unless we just get to Adelheid without running into a battle, so that works. Alrighty. Holy cow, there's been an accident at Lolithia's tomb! Oh, okay. Hey, well, I guess that's the Lolithia we need to know about. Let's find Emma. This is out of our hands. No, you're both wrong. The injured are our first concern. And yet here they are trying to bash him into submission. I don't know. Alright, so off they go. Well, I guess let's follow them. Now this is the first time we've really been to Adelheid and have done much more than just, well, sitting there. We'll explore the city more in probably the next episode or two, but I'm going to go ahead and head up here and we find Emma. Is there something going on outside? How exciting! Listen to that commotion. I wonder what's happening. Alarm! There's been an accident at Lolithia's tomb. Oh no, tell me what's going on. We broke through a wall damaged by the earthquake and unleashed monsters. Some of the workers were injured by one of the monsters. Gather everyone with military experience. No way! No one here has ever fought monsters before. There's so many of them. You couldn't pay us enough to go in there. All right then, get to work on the repairs. You hear? I'll do something about the monsters. Okay. We have a minor problem in the ruins to the north. Gee, no kidding, I think I heard the conversation. You can fight, can't you? I need to have some monsters slain. I'll pay 500 Gela. You can also study Lolithia's tomb. Will you do it? Sure we will, the intrepid heroes that we are. Glad to hear that. I'll pay you after the excavation, trust me. I'll be waiting for you. You must get prepared. Don't underestimate Lolithia's tomb. Bring friends. Well, gee, I think we've got a couple of friends we can talk to. Let's go see if they're up for it. Alright, so, hello Jack. So you're looking for partners on your adventure. Which ruins are you going to? I can help if you're going to Lolithia's tomb, north of Adelheid. Gee, I guess we found out where it is now. You're going, right? I too have an interest in those ruins. Shall we go together? Yep, let's bring him in. Alright, that settles it. It'll be my pleasure. My name is Jack. This is Handpan. Don't worry, he won't bite. Unless he's biting at your terrible wit. I'm Cecilia. The pleasure's all mine. Alright. The earthquake caused terrible chaos at the tomb. The workers accidentally awoke some monsters in their lair. I must go there to Lolithia's tomb. I'd feel safer if you joined me. I heard that you were the cause of the earthquake. Were you? Wow, don't cut to the chase much, do you? Alright, so, now, duty calls. You can reverse the damage you've done. I've been seeking a trusty companion on this adventure. Wow, what does that say about Jack? I'm Cecilia. Don't worry, I can hold my own with magic. It may not seem like it, but I don't think our goals are so different. Alrighty, and with that, we have the full crew, and they all happen to be level 3, so hooray. Alright, so, next time on Wild Arns, we'll get the crew together, well we have the crew together actually, and we will go to explore Lolithia's tomb. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see y'all later.